Hey everybody, episode 24. We have Adam from Tint Academy. So if you're looking at getting into window tinting, or if you're looking to add tinting into your business, or you just want to learn about businesses, he has a shop that he's running self-sufficient. Let him there. So he was in Italy for 3 weeks and they're still running his shop. So if you're interested in any of that, this is the episode for you. Let's take a look. 24th episode of Suds to Success podcast. My name's Andrew.
And I'm Rajan.
And that's
Adam.
There we go. Adam from Tint Academy. First, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Helps the podcast out a lot and makes a big difference. Our website is suds2successpodcast.com. We have tons of information on there and all set and ready to go. And we are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, everywhere you can get short form content, as well as Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So, Adam, we'll kind of go into what you do, how we met you, and kind of see where it goes.
So my name's Adam. I run the Tint Academy. We're the largest education platform across Canada and number 2 in the States. And we're also in Southeast Asia. I met these two guys, actually took our course June. April.
June.
I honestly don't. I don't remember.
For the last 2 months, they actually joined us in Toronto. So that's how we met these two guys here.
All right. That was nice and easy. So kind of, I guess, how did you start doing Tint Academy? Like, have you been tinting for a while? Kind of, how did you build it into what it is now?
Yeah, so we started it really about 6-7 years ago. So when I learned tinting, there's no YouTube didn't exist. There's no courses. There's no support. It's kind of learn how you go. You find somebody that did it. If they would take you on, you learn through them. Most times they wouldn't really take you on, or you learn as you go. Or you take a course. So most courses back then were suppliers that their main purpose of having a course was to sell you a product. So you take the course, and it was still just sales. You still walk out of it. I took a course in California, walked out with about $6,000-$7,000 worth of film. Still didn't know how to tint. So we were doing it. So my background is actually running an education company in another field. It's products that you guys probably use every day. We grew that company to 54 countries, and we built education platforms for 54 countries for these billion-dollar companies. So I kind of took my background with education and mixed it with tint, because there's nothing on the market that actually supported the learner, actually supported the student. It was all just about, here's our product, here's how you sell our product, this is why our product's the best. There's no actually hands-on approach to learning how to tint. So we actually started working with dealerships. So we'd go across the dealerships that hire us just to train their staff, trying to get detailers into window tinting. And we actually grew that we started in Niagara Falls. First year, everybody would fly into Niagara Falls. We were one of the first ones, kind of the YouTube, did the Instagram thing about doing the short clips about how to actually do it without pitching a product. So first year, we just ran it in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Everybody would fly in. So every weekend we'd have 10, 15 people, girls and guys, fly in from the States, fly in from Canada, just to learn. So we took the approach that it's going to be hands-on training. As you guys know, we don't sit there and we don't tell you have to buy this stuff. Our whole goal is that when you leave, we want you to have customers booked and you can tint their cars. That's the approach that we took. It was more of a student-based focus versus pushing a product-based focus. Then we just took my background with developing education across other countries and expanded it. So we kind of hit the limit of not everybody could fly into Niagara Falls, take 4 or 5 days off. So we're the first ones to actually do the 2-day course model, because before it was 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. So we condensed it into a 2-day model, which were the first ones to do that. And we expanded it. We started from Vancouver and worked our way across. So in every major city, we're the actually only company that ran proper, legitimate courses. Now, there were courses in the past. It was more, you go to a shop, pay a guy $1,000, $1,500, and he would teach you. It's a very nonchalant. He'd throw you on a car, you would shadow him, and that was it. So it was kind of the first model in Canada to follow that. It's an actual certificate. We're not here to push products. We're not here to sell products. Our goal is very simple. And we say it's at the end of the course. Our goal is that you have customers and you can tint their vehicles. That's it. And that's how we kind of focus it from there.
And kind of what I enjoyed about the course as well is, Yeah, we really wasn't pushing any products, but if I did have product specific questions, you still answer them. So if I'm like, what do you think? Like, this is a price point for this. What do you think? Like, you were still very good at, I'm not pushing products, but okay, this is the norm. It's like, then you have an idea kind of where your product is compared to others, or if you have different options or whatever. The other thing that was nice was I found the class wasn't too big. So like, I've done courses before in other industries, and you have 1,000 people running around and it's a mess and whatever, versus this, I found like it wasn't too much. It was enough people. Like, I think you had the right amount of people for the course. The other thing that was cool too was we left with a roll of film and some tools, and that to me, what it did was it kind of gave us training wheels to kind of be like, okay, these are not the best tools in the world, but they will get tint on windows, so you can make money to get new tools. And that's kind of what we've done. And yeah, I would say for sure, when you're done that course, you at least have the tools and confidence to start, and then you kind of build on it. If someone just walks in and goes, I want to be a pro tinter by the end of the course, I don't know if they'll be able to do every single car in the market, but at least gives them the confidence. No, but it's true. At least I'm sure you hear that where people, and every course they go and they're like, well, I don't remember anything, or I can't do this. Or if an employer who's never done tint before sends an employee and goes, I expect you to run my tint department 100% flawless when you come back because you did a 2-day course. It's not going to happen. But what it does do is it gives them the confidence to kind of start and get going. So that's kind of what we did, is we kind of just, and yeah, it's been problems. We've redone a lot of windows in terms of not customers coming back, but just us kind of learning what our acceptable amount is. And that's where it's tough, because as detailers, as me and Rajan and my employee, we're all type A. So it's hard for us to kind of realize, okay, what's acceptable to leave, because no tint install is 100% perfect. So it's kind of learning that balance. It's also just learning what's worth ripping off a window, like in terms of what's worth ripping the film off the window versus what's worth keeping it. But for us, though, what it's really done is it's been a great accessory for people coming in. Like, I have people at least 5 a week, and we're not doing advertising yet, because I'm like, I kind of just want to do a few a week, kind of get us going, and then we'll put gas in the fire. And it's been constant. Like, it's really like we've been doing 3 or 4 installs a week. And yeah, Taylor and me are stressed out. We gotta learn as we're doing it. And yeah, we make mistakes, as we did today. And a bunch of different stuff. We kind of just keep going with it. But it's kind of given us a new avenue. And we did the plotter route too. So we're hand cutting and doing a plotter. So it's kind of that, kind of figuring out the plotter too is a whole other avenue. And yeah, but what did you feel about the course, Rajan? Because I mean, we talked about it briefly in an episode, but go over it.
Biggest thing I liked was how you did a few steps. We go try it.
Yeah, that was
and
nice.
You bring it back, tell us all the next 3 steps, go back, apply it. I'm a hands-on learner. So like, if you sat down and you had a bullet whiteboard behind you and you started writing the process down, I'd forget it before you stopped writing. Even though it's right there, I wouldn't even look at it.
That's one thing we learned, is that 95% of people take the course are hands-on. You can't, again, YouTube is a great thing, but it's also a terrible thing, because again, like with us, we have a great YouTube channel, but we cut out a lot of stuff and it looks like it's perfect every time. So I was in Orlando, Florida this weekend doing a course. So we filmed a video. If you watch halfway through the video, I actually fell on my ass. And my videographer's like, just keep going, we'll cut it out. One guy did pick up on it and commented on it, because it was just kind of choppy all the way through. Like I was in a different position, but yeah, it's about creating a baseline, right? There's a million tools. So, okay, what I learned is that it's like when your father always told you, like, you can't just take a hammer and build a house. You got to know the actual procedures and the principle and the skill. So if you build that foundation, then you can start kind of going out and finding tools that work better for you. I have a shop. We're a high volume shop. I have 4 tinters in there. Every guy has a little tool, a little something they do differently than everybody else. I've trained them all. We spend tons of hours a week together when I'm in Canada. But our one guy, he uses a couple little tools that work better for him. But he built that foundation, he learned the skill, and he kind of tweaked it to what he finds is easier for himself. And that's why we don't want to push a lot of stuff. Like, we get emails every day for like, we have this new product out. Can you guys push it out? Well, I'm not using it. Right. So it kind of defeats the purpose of what we want to do. Like, we're not here to make money off selling you guys tools and gadgets that are just a flash in the pan for a month. We want to we're taking a step back, learn the basics, and then everybody should be able to take it from there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The best part about the hands-on learning too is you're super patient. Man,
Yeah.
I'm sure we all remember when I dropped the knife, and the first thing I broke it, and then you asked for a knife, and I gave you mine, and you're like, "What the heck is?" And then when I dropped the squeegee into the door panel, you're like, "Okay, it's okay, we'll take it out." That still the thing is still in there, but you're super patient, and you make the class like entertaining. For me, I call me a millennial or call me whatever, or Gen Z, whatever. I have a short attention span. Like I have ADHD. Like I have to be doing something all the time. So it's like you take a 5-minute pause. You you tell us what to do. We go do it. I loved it. I was focused. I was in the whole time. I came to the shop. I went in my car, applied it, done. It's like, oh damn, I actually did it. I think in the course, I think I got 2 windows okay, and then I did it on my car, and I was like, okay, it slid down. I never noticed. So I go to Andrew's shop. Andrew's like, oh, how does it look? I roll my window down, and there's like that big of a gap. It rolled down, so I was like, okay, now I gotta like tack it, etc. Go back and forth. Thankfully, I did it, and I've done 3 cars now, 2 full cars, and 1. Actually, make that 5. I did my dad's car too, the back windows, and then it's just been getting better, easier all the time. Thinking about funny moments. You told me like if I did something at the course where I was like, oh, too much film. You're like, cut it. And I was like, oh, really? You're like, yeah, it's film. Cut it. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's over. It's Andrew and I walking. We're like, oh, this is gonna be a walk in the park, man. First 15 minutes, I'm sweating. He's sweating. So it's one of those things where you never realize how hard it is until you actually do it for the first time.
Well, and like what I find too is you're proficient and an expert in one industry. So like detailing, ceramic coating, that's what we do. Like we live, breathe that. Like so you come in with that mentality where you're like, I'm just gonna do this in window tinting. Tint is something that's unforgivable, and if you do something wrong, it just hates you. Like there's no like, oh, just bounce back. It's like, no, it's just screwed up. It's done. Like and whatever.
It humbles you once in a while, yeah.
Yeah. It for sure does. And I also find every car that you do, it's easier. And the one thing that I will say about the training that I think other trainings lack is the videos you have. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I wouldn't learn only online or only on YouTube, but what's nice about yours is where it's like I can just go on the thing and go, okay, how do I do a rear window? It's like, okay, here's a video. And it like reminds me, or like how do I bottom load if I ever have to do that, or different things where it's like it's kind of like you're refreshing the foundation. The foundation's there because we learned it, but it's just stuff where it's like, I don't remember. This was like 2 months ago, whatever. I haven't seen this since or whatever. And it's been really good that way.
The WhatsApp groups are amazing.
Amazing. That's another good point.
I mean, there's kind of weird questions, but I mean, most of the time it's like things we're all kind of wondering.
We're doing a video on all the questions I get because I'm in probably about 800 groups. Yeah, because we have 3 a weekend. We did Orlando, Montreal, Winnipeg this past weekend. And that was my biggest thing with having the courses too. Like I took my course in California 12 or 14 years ago. It's like, yeah, sold a bunch of stuff or go on the flight. I'm trying to pack all the I bought. And I'm like, well, I got home to Niagara. I'm like, what do I do now? I couldn't call the guy. I couldn't email the guy. It was just kind of like you spent $6,000 worth of stuff and that was my biggest thing when we started these is the support. And then a lot of guys will go down, like YouTube's great as a reference point if you forget something and all that stuff, but asking a question, again, every group has a different kind of dynamic. Like some groups, like they just are on rocket fire. Like the Winnipeg group this weekend, like they're just crushing it out in Winnipeg. They're feeding off each other. They're talking to each other. So it gives you that support. Like, again, window tinting, it can be lonely as well. Like when you're working on your own, something happens. Like even myself, I remember I make a mistake. Like I get some dirt in the window. It's like, man, am I that like stupid? I get this dirt in the film and you kind of post in the group. Like everybody goes through the same kind of learning curve after the course. So it makes it feel like you guys aren't alone working with customers. That makes sense. Yeah. Like you guys told me about that issue earlier before we actually came on. It's like, well, I can screenshot that exact issue in every single other group that someone's had done the exact same thing you did today.
Right.
So you're not the only one that has ever happened to and all that kind of stuff.
I won't be the last one.
No.
And It's like the WhatsApp group was nice is you can always ask questions, and then you're also feeding off of other people's questions too. And like some of them, like Erjan said, you'll look, you're like, why are you asking that or whatever. But for the most part, it's all very good. And the other thing too is everyone in that class, I have like 6 of them on my Instagram now that added me, or like they'll just be like, look at this window I just did. So they'll message me on Instagram. I'm like, that's cool. He's like, what have you worked on? Send a picture of a car that you tinted back. So it's kind of cool. And what was interesting about that course, and we'll kind of, I guess, go deeper into Tint Academy too, is what was cool about that course is not everyone's in the automotive field. Like I think 4 of us were. Like I mean, so like it wasn't like where I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a bunch of detailers or like people on there tinting. It was like there was a guy that was selling medical equipment, and he's doing, I think, the most windows out of all of us.
Yeah.
Like he's just hustling with this window tinting.
Yeah.
He's crushing it. His prices are like, he tells me his prices, like he has the highest prices. He's getting jobs. He's in the most competitive market in Toronto as well. So it's like everybody says, oh, there's the $100 tint guys. Well, this guy's doing 2 windows for $340. I think he posted in there.
Yeah, that was a semi truck.
But still, $340.
Yeah, he's just going. Like it's you look, and I'm like, wow, like this guy, and he'll message me. He's like, how's this? How's that? Have you experienced it? Like he's great to kind of talk to. So something I've seen on TikTok, and I've seen you post on your story, is that window tinting's dying, and Ontario has made it against the law. So I think you should kind of touch on that because I've seen that TikTok 1,000 times, and like obviously it's not true, but kind of.
Yes. So we get that call or email probably 15 times a day. So it's actually not Ontario, it's federally, it's across Canada. And there's always seems to be these trends, and window tinting is always a kind of middle ground for everything. So it was literally just an AI video. They've spliced Mark Carney's. So Mark Carney, if you're in the States, is our prime minister. They did an AI regeneration of him saying lifted trucks will be illegal, window tints illegal. So we have people that post on our Facebook all the time, like, oh, you're selling a fake dream to people. It's going to be illegal. Well, again, every time you see something online, you got to do a little bit of your own research first. You can tell that video is very much AI generated. Also, window tint is a provincial thing. It's not a federal legislation. B, window tint is actually more of a safety than it is for looks. So again, most people get their cars tinted because the car looks badass. Like it's the number one thing people do as soon as they buy a new car is they get it tinted, right? Mm-hmm. Tinted or ceramic coating. Tinting usually first is the cheapest, fastest, makes your car look like very cool. So it's never going to change. Now, we also have a lot of SUVs and trucks that already have factory tint in the back. It's just dyed glass. Again, those are international. Those cars are made at one factory and shipped across the world. Canadian legislation is not going to go against what these giant car companies are doing either.
No.
Right? So that's the other thing people look at. The reason why the cars only make the back factory glass tinted is because every state, every province, every country has different legalities. So they keep the front two untinted because in Ontario, we can tint the front 2 windows. Out in BC, you're not allowed to. Montreal, they do, but you're not allowed to either. So yeah, we get that message 15 times a day minimum. You're selling a fake dream. It's being outdated. Like, listen, window tint's the last thing that's going to be kind of legislated out there.
Yeah. What's I know you said it before, but what's one of the lessons that you make sure kind of every student walks away with? Is it confidence, like you said, making customers, etc.?
So one of my things, and one of my goals of this course, like I've probably in my professional career, I probably spent about $200,000 on continuing education. Now this doesn't count university. Like my background's actually engineering. It is weekend courses, week-long courses. I spent about $200,000. My biggest thing is making it an experience. Again, you saw the demographic in that group. There's 4 or 5 detailers out of there. We had a medical. So again, you got to have fun learning as well. If you make it seem like a chore, these guys are going to. I've done other window tinting courses. I'm not going to say the brand names, but it's like just you want to scratch your eyes out with a fork kind of information. So my biggest thing is that it's an experience. And I always tell I have 3 other instructors across Canada. I say we got to make it an experience. They have to have a great time while they're learning. So that's kind of one of our things. We're looking at changing the curriculum a little bit to help deal more with customers because customers behaviors have changed in the last 5 years. So I've been self-employed. I'm 39. I've been self-employed since I've been 18 years old. Customers' behaviors and how to deal with customers have been a lot more different, especially with the rise of social media. I think that we want to deal with how people deal with customers. You guys probably see this in your own business. Dealing with customers is the number one way you can be successful, or it's going to drown your business.
Yeah.
I always tell everybody, I can give you the marketing to make $100,000 a year. $100,000 is not a lot of money to make. It's very easy to hit that target. You can do that part-time. If you piss people off, if you don't handle them well, none of that's going to work. And that's what I think the biggest thing I want to get across is how to work with people. My biggest thing is giving the confidence with them, helping them work with customers and getting them, because again, everybody wants to make money. That's at the end of the day what they're doing. So it's a great way to make an additional income that's you're never going to lose on that as well. So it's giving, even if they don't go on with window tinting, like say, you know what, this is not for them, they don't want to deal with it. It gives them the confidence that they can do something else and they're not just stuck in something they're told they have to do 25 years ago. Again, the guy we're talking to, he's the medical guy, like he makes a ton of money doing medical stuff. He just doesn't enjoy it. And he wants to make a little more money on his own time. He has a daughter, like I have a little girl as well. She's 15 months old today or yesterday, that I can spend more time with her. And that was his whole thing too. Well, I got to go and do all these like, I got to go to sales calls and fly cross country and do all that kind of stuff. I want to be able to spend more time. So again, like we talked about, he's posting it. He's doing jobs for $340. His cost in that is probably 20 or $30. So he can do that in about 2 hours, spend the rest of the day with his daughter.
Yeah, and that guy, his determination, but like he deserves every penny he gets. Like his determination, even in the course, I think he did like a window and a half, but those windows were perfect. He's like, I have to be perfect, or I'm not doing it. And like he was on our cars, like we're joking with him. He goes, nope, not good enough. Rip it off. I'm like, oh my god, like but he deserves everything he gets. Honestly, So Tint Academy is not just, and I didn't know about you guys until Paulo. So we had Paulo on, and I talk to that guy all the time. And yes, he makes me run my head against the wall. We just all the time with him, but and he's like, okay, I do window tinting next PPF. But he's like, you have to do window tinting. Like, why aren't you doing it? Whatever. Meet Adam. Puts me in a group chat. And then when I look at Tint Academy, it's like, oh, we're there. You're not just Canadian. You're in the U.S. Like, how did you kind of like? How old is Tint Academy?
Officially or 5 years. We've been doing it kind of unofficially in dealerships for about 6 years.
Okay. So 5 years, you're in the US pretty heavy too. So you're Canadian and American and all over. How did you kind of expand so fast in 5 years to doing 3 a week or 4 a week?
So before we did the States, we actually did Southeast Asia. So I did all the courses from Manila, Singapore. Where else did we go? Thailand. So we actually entered the Southeast Asia market before we entered the US market, which was kind of weird. But I have another company in Southeast Asia. So we actually took our education model in Southeast Asia and just doubled it up and used our same kind of like network we have in Manila and put in window tinting into there as well. It's one of the best. Southeast Asia is one of the best markets we've ever been to. They take learning to the next level. Again, because the schooling system is different. You have to kind of fight for everything that you get. And they're the most ambitious, hungry, motivated people that I've ever worked with. Canadians a little bit different. Like they'll show up late. Southeast Asia, it'll take them 4 hours to drive in there. They'll be sitting there an hour early. They'll be recording. It's wild. So that's one of our best markets we ever do. Now, Canada, we run every city. So you name a city, we've done a course there. The only place we haven't done is PEI, which I'm actually going to in August. So we expanded that. We were the first ones to bring courses in. So back, like when I first learned window tinting, I had to fly to California. Before that, you'd either have to fly to Toronto to see us, or you had to fly to Toronto to see another company. There's nothing out west. We're actually the first company in Western Canada. We're the first major company in Montreal. So, and then we focused on it as it's a student-centric learning. So that's how we built that good reputation. Because a lot of dealerships will want to send their staff to us because we're going to teach them the skills where it's going to help their dealership. So we kind of built up that reputation. The States, we started doing a big push this year. I'm a Florida guy myself, not to be too political, but I kind of like that part of the US. Like in the wintertime, I love to be down that way. Like it's when I'm in Florida, I know it's 100 this weekend or last weekend. I taught the Florida course. It was 105 degrees, but it was freaking awesome. And then we have a place in New York, so I spend a lot of time in out in Long Island in New York. So we're kind of doing a little more stuff in that area of the country as well. This year, we're trying to push for Houston, San Diego, and Nebraska. Just the states. Population, it's a multiplier of 10 compared to Canada. Canada has 36 million people. The States has 360 million people. When we started marketing our New York City courses, my ads guy was like, he goes, our course is in the middle of Long Island, so it's about 40 minutes outside of the city. He goes, there's 9 million people on Long Island. He goes, I don't even have that marketing capacity anywhere else in Canada. Because we're hitting like Edmonton, which is 1 million, 2 million people. Calgary, which is I think just under 1 million people. Toronto's really our only big market. It's 4 million people. And it's spread out. So
how do you manage all that, like flying, traveling? Like, I feel like that would be so exhausting.
Yeah, it's actually my trial. So with our company in 2016, I took 172 flights. We used to work. I remember like. This is nothing. I remember one time I was in India. I spoke at a conference in New Delhi, India. And then I was working with two different organizers who booked my flights for me. So one would fly me back to Toronto. And then the next weekend, I'd have to be in Singapore and do another conference in Singapore. So I'd fly, spend a day in North America, come back. So this is easy for me. I like traveling. I like again, I'm not that guy that can sit in a shop and just sit there 9 to 5 every day. Our shop, it's self-sufficient, it's self-running. I have a great team that's there. I'll pop in a couple times a week. But I learned what I want to do, and traveling is my two favorite things are teaching and traveling. I like to kind of go around. I like to go New York, spend a week there, do a little bit of tinting, run a course, help the guys hang out in the shop. Then we moved on to Orlando. So that's kind of my I'm gonna say like happy place or what I want to do. I really believe on making your life based on what you want to do. A lot of guys are just happy to make 100 grand and sit in a shop, but I'm more. I like to travel, I like to see the world, all that kind of stuff.
How did you build a self-sufficient shop that you can only be there a few days a week? What's your advice on that? Because I'm sure there's people that listen that a lot of our listeners are detailers. They're probably looking at getting into window tint. They haven't already. And I guess their dream would be to have a self-sufficient shop, or maybe they could go on vacation and maybe they could have time off. It took me a while to be able to get part of that. So what's your advice on, I guess, building that and kind of what to look for and kind of people, and how did you build that?
So number one is paying my employees. I wouldn't say they're employees. I call them team members. I pay them almost double what the industry standard is. So again, and they know, like, again, do I make as much money? No, but again, I can, like, we went away to Italy for 3 weeks, and did we have issues in the business? 100%. I'm not going to say that we go away and there's not stuff I have to deal with. But again, my number one thing is I pay them fairly well, and I give them a lot of incentives too. The most complaints that I get and I see on Facebook is that they're underutilized and underpaid and treated like crap. I make it an environment where it's fun and they're always learning, and there's no cap to their income either. Right, so that's my biggest thing that I can do. So I kind of treat it more as a law firm based setup versus just owner employee based setup. So you have different kind of levels. Yeah, so we're like a law firm. Like, you know, in a law firm you have junior associates, you have junior partners, senior partners, partners. So it's based on that point of view.
And then are you running straight hourly wage, or are you doing like commission or per job?
It's straight per job. We're also busy enough that we can get away with that. So we're doing 10, 15 cars a day. I also have incentives where the guys can bring in their cars. We have a beautiful shop. They're happy to go. So a lot of my guys know that, like, they understand, okay, if I go somewhere else, I'm going to be making X amount of dollars, working 8 to 5, that kind of thing, where we feed them full every day. We have the exact marketing system we tell everybody to do in the course. We follow the marketing system. Not a lot of people think they do it, but it's very, as you guys know, it's not marketing is no rocket science. It's treating
No.
customers well. But again, is there issues that I have to deal with? 100%. We had an issue last night where I had to step in and deal with it. Always going to happen. Like if you're running a business, that's the point. But these guys are trained well, and they're what's the word I'm looking for? Like they enjoy coming to it. So there's about 5 of us at that one location. Everybody's happy to get along. They're making a ton of money. So that's kind of what we focus on.
What are, if you don't mind saying, what are some problems that still come across your desk when you have 5 people there? So I assume, like, how I would imagine is you have someone for front of shop. It's like someone that walks in, someone's more customer service oriented, I'd assume. And the rest are more installers. Is that kind of correct?
We have all our booking is done online. So I have a VA that does all our booking. All our quotes are done online. Now, I think we introduced you to them a couple weeks ago. So everything is straight done online. We do have walk-ins. We explained to our customers that, we're fully booked. We can try to squeeze you in. They can book them into their appointments right on the phone. So we don't have our sales process is very easy. Our pricing models, like again, I keep everything super simple. We have 3 prices. That's it.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's no selling. This is how it is. In our shop, we have 3 shades of film, light, medium, dark. So there's not a ton of inventory to hold over as well. So we're not having 16 shades of film and carbon ceramic dyed. It's straight ceramic film, 5%, 20%, 35%. We have WhatsApp groups. So everybody has a WhatsApp group and they'll communicate within the WhatsApp group. They send a before picture, after picture. All the payments are done either via cash or e-transfer. And we split it up on the day. They send in a before and after picture, and our booking guy sends a warranty cards to the customer at night. So they get a physical warranty card to their email.
And then, so what does your warranty card say? Because that's something that I've seen too. There's some people I'll do like, I don't know, like pretty much a cover anything warranty, and they'll be like, okay, it's $75, and then this warranty covers anything. Like if someone breaks your window, we'll replace it. If someone does this, we'll replace it. If there's scratches on it, we'll replace it. So kind of, what is your warranty? Because that's interesting, because we don't do any cards. That's why I'm kind of interested.
Well, the cards are in your Google Drive when you guys first signed up. they're given to you guys. So my first and foremost is the customers first. So if they have any complaints or any questions, my rule of thumb is we book them in no matter what. Okay. So we can actually physically talk to them. We don't want, like, I see that on Facebook all the time. Be like, let it dry. They try to explain it to over text. That doesn't work. I train everybody. Book them in. Any complaints, book them in. Let somebody talk to them and explain them what's going on. If they're not happy with it, again, nowadays with customers, with Facebook, with Google, everything's at their fingertips. I'd rather have happy customers versus not happy customers. If I have to lose a couple dollars of film and they're happy, I don't mind doing that. Because again, I'll get more referrals down the road. That's where a lot of tinters, I find they lose it because they don't really do the aftercare for the customer either. Because again, you guys know with tint, there's drying, there's curing. It looks terrible for the first 2 or 3 days. People freak out, especially the higher film that anybody uses. There's a longer cure and dry time on it. Again, customers freak out, bring them in, we explain it to them. If there is something wrong, I'll give every customer a one-off. Now, my warranty claim is bubbling, fading, peeling. So again, the normal stuff, if it bubbles, if it fades, if it peels, we'll replace it for you. If they damage it, I give every customer a one-off. So like I explained the course, for example, if their dog is in the back and scratches it, is that warranty covered? Not really, but I want to give every customer a one-off. So kind of a freebie when they walk in. I have one thing. So when they come in, all my guys say the same thing. This is usually $65 to replace. I'm going to do it for free today. All I ask you to do is post on Facebook or Instagram that we did your window tinting. Right? We find that generates 3 or 5 new customers just off them posting. So would I rather make $65 on fixing their mistake or 3 to 5 new customers? So that's kind of how I attract it.
Yeah, and I think also it's setting their expectations. Like that's kind of what so when we first kind of got into window tinting, we have a lot of customers and reviews from detailing ceramics. That's kind of what we're known for.
Yeah.
So when we got into window tinting, I'm like, okay, so what kind of agreement can I make people agree to? And it's not more so kind of lock them into agreement. It's more so that, hey, this is how we do things. This is our process. This is what's normal. This is what, like, kind of go through it. And I remember, so I've had a few people that come in for quotes, or they want to see the tint. So like I'll cut out a piece of the tint, put it on the window, kind of like show them like this is what it'll look like. And the lady looked at me, she goes, "Oh, you must be great at tinting." I'm like, "Oh yeah, why is that?" She goes, "You're very thorough. Like you have an agreement. Like you give us like aftercare." Like I'm not gonna tell them it's our third car, but like, and honestly, like because it's when you set. That's why I kind of was talking the other podcast. I'm like, it's an experience. It's when you set it up right, where it's like, yeah, we're gonna take care of you, and this is all the questions, and we have like an aftercare, like a 2 pieces of paper, and pretty much goes over like what's normal, how long it's take to cure, don't put your windows down for this amount of time, the dotted border, like the dot matrix is what it looks like. If you have little specks in it, it's normal, like this type of thing. You're going to have some contamination in it, that's normal. And what it does is it kind of lets people realize, like, okay, like, so I had one guy, he's like, well, does that mean if it's peeling off you're not going to replace? I go, if it's peeling off, call me. like it shouldn't be doing that. No, it's more like, see this little dot here, and I'll show people, like there's a little dot right there, and like, okay. I'm like, it's dust in the air, and that's kind of, like that is what it is. And they'll go, oh yeah, that's fine, we haven't even seen that. Okay, great, that's what we're talking about, we're that picky. Oh, okay. And that's kind of really made a difference. So kind of to boil back, so now since you're kind of there only a few days a week, and now you have a team that's pretty much self-sufficient, what kind of problems are coming back on your desk? You don't have to be specific, but like just to give an idea. 'Cause I mean, like, for example, like my problem today, we had a frameless window, and we put the window up, and I closed the door, and it's cracked the window. So is it stuff like that you're dealing with, or like kind of what's still ending up on your desk in Italy? Because that's what I'm wondering. Like, so when I get to the point where I can leave my shop, go on a nice vacation for 3 weeks in beautiful Italy, what am I expecting to get phone calls about? Or anyone
number one is inventory of film. I thought I ordered, this happened when I was in Italy, I thought I ordered enough for our numbers we did last year. So I kind of base what are the trends we're doing now, what did we order last year. So I ordered a bunch of film. Again, in Ontario, we got that, I was away when we got that heat streak in Ontario. So our shop just went nuts, and everybody kind of thought they told me we're out of film. But no one actually did tell me we're out of film.
Oh.
So stuff like that, just normal customer complaints. If you have a customer complaint, no matter what my guys say, there's always that person that wants to talk to the owner, right? They want to close the owner and talk to the owner.
Yeah.
So I gotta get on the phone with them and talk to them and stuff like that. So other thing is cleanliness. So my big thing with my team is keeping it clean. Like there's always, like I was in Orlando teaching the course in Florida. I flew into Buffalo. I drove. My shop is 4 minutes off the border, so I'm literally like you can go to my door to the U.S. border. No, 2.5 to 3 minutes, 4 minutes while you're waiting in line. So I kind of stopped in, and the place was a disaster. So no one kind of cleaned up, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't know you'd be here on time." So like, they didn't think I'd be here at 7. My flight was at 5 a.m. I landed in Buffalo at about 7:30. I was at the shop at 8:30 before everybody else. It tin scraps everywhere, so they're kind of not getting lazy, but just
what
not
employees do.
Yeah, they leave those little tin scraps. Like they'll wash it into the corner, and I'll pick it up the next day if we had a busy day, which is little things like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. That kind of makes sense. So it's not really super big problems. It's just stuff that kind of you miss and whatever. And I'm kind of the same way, where my employees will yell at me and they're like, "This is why you don't touch things," including today when I cracked a window. It's literally like whenever we get a customer complaint, I usually tell them it's me that did it. Most of the time, it is me that did it. Like, so for a good example, we had a car and went to a dealership in Toronto, and a detailer tried to polish it and left like hologram and lines all over the paint. So lady came down to us because she lives here, and she's like, "Okay, can you fix this?" We fixed it. There's like a little mark that we missed, like you wouldn't have seen. It's literally an inch by like maybe an inch like long, so it's like nothing. And she goes, "Okay, there's still this little mark here." And I told her, I'm like, "There's probably going to be marks. Like, I mean, like it was all over the car. Like this poor detailer in Toronto just destroyed this brand new Mini Cooper." And so we went to fix it. And so she came back, and I'm like, okay, great. And she goes, did you work on this? Of course I did. Anytime I work on it, I'm not working on my business because we had an employee that unexpectedly left. So I was more so on cars. So anytime, and I'm on cars, what happens? Everyone comes back and like she's watching the employees, how hard they're working. And she goes, yeah, I kind of get that. I'm like, yep. And now you're talking to me again because I'm fixing this that they wouldn't have missed. And it's kind of true is I like not working in my business. I like working on it. And I get that from you too, is it's so much easier for me to work on it, talk to people. Like I'm way better suited in that role or dealing with customers. Like even like today when we cracked the window, called the body shop, that's the Tesla, whatever authorized body person in our city, dealt with them. I'm so much better at that. Like I talked to the guy, he's like, okay, this is it. I'm like, this is who I am. They're like, okay, we're gonna give you preferred pricing. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make it great, whatever, because we know them. And it's just, I'm so much easier. Like people look at me, like Taylor looked at me, she goes, how do you not throw things? How do you not like get mad? I'm like, he goes, what's it gonna do? Like it's already broken. I go, like, what? Like I can't fix it. I can't make it go back. So it's kind of like, okay, well, what now? What? Because I'm paying money now. Like there's no there's no reason for me to yell. So, and I think that's the thing with tinting is I'm realizing is, and where I was getting stuck, I was getting a bunch of crease in the beginning. I was trying to rush it. So putting the tint in, jamming it in the corner, and I'm looking. I'm like, I just took a second. I'm like, okay, take a second, roll it, do this, do that, and you kind of just, I don't want to say massage it, but you kind of finesse it, and then you just learn. It kind of just goes into all the spots you want it to go into if you just take that extra second to kind of do it, and that's where the course really helped. And also I find it's also you have to get used to the film you like. It's like I've used different films now and they're all different. They all behave different. Some will crease easier than others. But it's also learning your film, learning the company, learning, do you like the company you're with? Are they easy to deal with? Or how is the film installation? Like for us, I was creasing a ton of back windows, like a ton. Then we had one car, it's terrible. And I watched a few videos kind of online about how different people do it. And I started changing it up. I'm like, oh, it works. And then you kind of just, I guess, just build on it and go. And in the beginning, I'm totally not looking to make a profit. I'm looking to get skills. It's kind of what Taylor said too, is we burned through a ton of film in the beginning. And I mean, like, that's just us making mistakes or rushing or whatever. And now, well, after the window, hopefully it's the last one thing we got to pay for. But now, it's kind of like we look at a job, and because in our CRM we can see like how much was our consumable, so I can write, okay, we used whatever 10 feet of film, it's this amount per foot. How much money did we spend here? How much money was labor? How much? And I can look, and they can see it too, and they're like, oh, we made money this job. I'm like, yeah, that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. And over time is kind of the plan. It's also, if I can have employees that are just sticking to tint and then hire more people to do detailing ceramic, that's kind of the goal. Because locally, like, it's pretty bad that we can start tinting within 1 week we're busy, because people are like, these guys are pros, and I'm like,
no, you see some tint jobs like they had an F-50. It's this big of a gap. Like, this guy didn't say anything.
Well, that's funny when we go to like small remote communities in like Saskatchewan and Winnipeg. Like our guys make a ton of money in Winnipeg and Saskatchewan because we have this one guy. He's in northern Manitoba. There's one tinter in a 4-hour radius. This guy, this tinter, like there, he was showing me pictures. Like it was like he was just slapping it on. But that's the only thing that those customers had. So if they're driving 4 hours to Winnipeg, they can get a better job. But in that radius, so this guy would come in and just sweep the market. It happened in Fort McMurray, Alberta as well. We had a couple of guys come down from Fort McMurray to Edmonton, and they're charging like, I will give them the prices they should, because you always see those WhatsApp groups. Everybody's like, what should I charge? What should I charge? Which is like a different beast in its own, because like every market is like between, like, you guys are in Windsor compared to Windsor to London. Like those are two completely different markets.
totally different.
The guys are charging. It's funny when you actually pay attention to detail and you treat your customers well, how easy the business becomes. You guys can like have lineups and have a ton of customers. That's the two secrets: is focus on your skill, treat your customers well.
Well, I'm like, when I've done coaching with other business owners, they said, you're not in a detailing business, you're in a customer service business. You're just good at cars. And it's true. When you focus on customer service, like let's say this guy, we cracked his windows, a 2025 Tesla Model Y. So literally brand new. I think it has less than 4,000 kilometers on it. So like it's brand new. So I called the guy, and the most like scariest phone call of your life. You're like, okay, like he's like, how is it going? You're like, oh, it's been better. And you kind of, it's like, I kind of told him like, okay, this never happened before, but like, it's not been good. Something happened with your car. And he's like, all right. And I said, you know what? Like I did this is a frameless window. It hit the thing, it cracked. And he's like, okay. I go, you're not paying for anything that you're dealing with today. He goes, okay. And I go, we're taking care of you. It's like your car's still getting detailed. We're not going to wash the outside because the window's cracking. It's laminate glass. Like it's not going to like burst, but like you have marks in it.
Yeah.
He goes, okay. And I go, so we're going to deal with the body shop. And he goes, well, it messed with my Tesla warranty. I go, no, it's already been dealt with. It's a Tesla certified center. So you're all set and ready to go. I already paid for it. So we're going to kind of show you like there's a little mark on a piece of trim. I'm like, okay, so we're going to try and paint it, like touch up paint, see if it's good enough for you. He goes, okay. I go, if it isn't, we're replacing it. The glass is being replaced. He goes, okay, that makes sense. I go, and while we send you to the body shop, so that day, whenever the glass comes, because you can still drive with it, it's not like affecting the vehicle, and it's not like all out. Like it's literally like a line right in the corner. So while you're at the body shop, we're gonna give you $100 for Uber as a voucher, so you can still drive around, and hopefully it doesn't really impact your day. It's like, okay, you know, then the car is gonna come back here. We're gonna retint it. We're gonna give you another $100 voucher in case you wanted to do Uber that day. He goes, all right. And he looks at me and I go, and like, I'm sorry, man. Like it is what it is. Like I can't really, you know, and it was me that did it. And he goes, calm down, buddy. Like you're taking care of me. It's great. I'm like, he goes like, you're good. Like stuff happens. Like it's not a good situation, but like, I feel like I'm being taken care of. And that's kind of the point of a business where like for me, when something goes wrong, I learned right in the beginning, obviously you can't hide that, but in detailing, there's a lot of stuff you could try and hide. Like there's some shops that will spray paint carpets and like do stuff that you just look and you're like, what the, and what I find is when you're open about stuff like that and you kind of deal with it is, you know, it's easy to kind of keep those people around and you kind of make a customer have a bad situation.
Did we lose Adam?
Yep.
Oh, wait.
All right, Adam's back, so we're back here and ready to go. And I kind of want to answer, or I guess most of our viewers are going to be detailers, obviously. So that's the Success Detailing Podcast. I mean, like it's going to be mostly. So for us, like at my business, we're doing it as an accessory service. I don't want to be a full-time tinter. I mean, if we run into that, sure, we'll make money at it. When do you think, Adam, is the right time for a detailer to add it on? Like, do you think right in the beginning? Do you think they should get kind of a business going? Like when do you think is the best time to add that tinting?
Yeah, so the number one mistake I see, especially with detailers, they want to do everything. They contact us, they're like, I want to do tint, I want to do PPF, I want to do ceramic coating, we have Vancouver, we see this all the time. They want to take every single course. And with Paulo at Owner's Pride, because we run a ton of courses at that location, we'll run like windshield replacement, window tinting, PPF, power coating, ceramic coating, detailing. They want to do absolutely everything, and it makes them more confused and actually alienates your customer, because what happens a lot of times is guys that do everything compete against everybody. So you have to be the best at everything versus the guys that are very good at that. So we always suggest is build your business up to cash flow, have a steady base of customers, be the best at your craft, have a raving fan base in your business, and add it as an adjunct. So again, you don't want to be known as the detailer and the tint guy. You know what I mean? You want to just be the detailer that also can upsell your customers and offer an easier service for them as well. So again, you got to find that point. Now, every business will be different, but we just suggest that don't learn everything. I know we're an education company. We offer all this kind of stuff, but offering everything kind of shoot you in the foot going down the road and just be the worst at everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Even at tinting, like I think our weakest is tinting right now, and it's getting better. But you know, I know that if someone comes for a ceramic coating and like they'll get tinting, I'm like, well, at least we're doing one service. I'm 100,000% confident in it. Like, so like it kind of will give you that. And the other thing too is that for us, it gives us a flow of people that they'll see our reviews from their detailing or ceramic coating, like, oh, you do tinting, like you must because you do tinting. I'm like, well, no, like. But it's kind of, you have the systems already in place, so it's easy to add more stuff into kind of your little bubble. Yep. I think that's a great way to end the episode. So we're going to kind of end it here. So if you haven't already, like, subscribe. We're going to put all of Adam's information in all the description. So Tint Academy, if you're looking at tinting, hit them up. Hit the team up there. They are the place to go. I wouldn't recommend anybody else. I looked at other places tinting. We almost had Urjan do some online course, and trust me, it wouldn't have went well.
I wouldn't even have done it. I would have paid for it. Wouldn't have done it.
He barely could do the in-person course, and that was even probably better.
That's the number one thing we get. So like, I bought this online course 3 years ago. I've never done it. Do it in person is going to force me to actually physically show up somewhere.
Well, I mean, like, and you're a prime example. So like, you give us a Google Drive, we didn't even look at it. Like, so like that's the in the beginning. So versus when you're at the course, she's like, look at the Google Drive. Essentially, like, oh yeah, we should open all this. And then when we got home, we opened it. So it's true though. So if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, follow Adam on Tint Academy. You'll see him tagged in all the shorts. We'll get that all going and whatever, and all the YouTube shorts and everything. Website suds2successpodcast.com. And as always, have a great week. Happy detailing.